Welcome to the next little video in this little plumbing series. So in this video I'm going to be looking at hooking up my tap and also the water, wastewater, grey water coming from my sink into this little guy. If you want to see the installation of the actual sink and tap, I did that in my kitchen video, which I've linked below. And I've also linked below the other plumbing videos that I've done so far. And then in a separate video, I'm going to do an entire water system video that just runs through everything in one go. So let me show you what we're doing. So here's my tap, here's my sink. So we've got both the hot and cold pipes coming underneath. I'm not going to have hot water, so I'm just going to connect these with a T connector to the same hose pipe, and they'll just both supply cold water. And then my wastewater, my grey water, I'm going to basically have this underneath and collect in there, and then I'll just empty it. I know some people opt for putting a hole in the floor of the van so grey water literally just falls out the bottom of the van, but I feel a bit better just having this, to be honest. So I've got some 12mm hose which I'm going to feed from the back of the van, which I'll show you in a minute, and actually I can show you now in fact. So I haven't installed my water tank yet, but it's going to be sitting over there. You can see I've got the pump here, the water goes across the top of the bed. I'm going to feed a 12mm hose out of there, then sort of underneath my kitchen unit I'll drill a hole in the floor of the cab, and then it'll come up and feed these two pipes. And then the wastewater is literally going to go down here, but obviously you need to put a U-bend in the pipe to stop things like the smell coming up. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. So first off, what are we going to do? We'll join these two together. That's a nice simple job. Right, so here's step one. I've cut some 12mm hose. So those are going to feed into my hot and cold tap, and then they can join with a T connection, and then this is going to go to a little ball lever valve, so if I need to isolate the tap I can just turn the water off there. Now you'll notice they just have a screw end, so I've got these two male connectors that screws into each of them, and then they'll go in the top like that. Connect them all together with these 12mm Jubilee clips. So let's join it all up. There we go. Right then, so now I just need to fit it into place under here. Right, so what I'm going to do now is get my hole saw out and drill a hole in the bottom of this unit so I can feed the water hose through. Ooh, nerve-wracking. Right, I've made a little pilot hole where I think it's going to go. It's avoiding the waste stuff, and it's not hitting any of the feet underneath. So let's just crack on, I reckon. Let's just do it. There we go. Just hoover that up and then get piping. Right, so now I'm going to feed some 12mm hose from there underneath the kitchen unit, and then up out there. Wish me luck. Hey, there we go. There we go, look. I'm just going to now cut this bit to length and fit that in there. There we go. I'm just waiting on some pipe clips. Once they arrive, I'll be able to just sort of neatly fasten the hose pipe just in a couple of places to keep it tight so it's not swaying around everywhere. Cool. So as I said at the beginning, I'm still finishing off some other bits in the water system, so once I've done them, at the end of this video I can show you the actual tap. But for now, let's sort out the grey water stuff. So this is what came with the sink itself. So this bit just sits on the top as the plug hole, and this bit screws on underneath to sort of create a seal. And then this goes on the bottom, and there's some of that like flexi tubing. So what I'll do is I'll create a U-bend with this, and then what I've done is bought some extension tubing, which I'll feed to the end of that, and then the other end will go into my grey water tank. I've also got some 40mm pipe clips just to fasten it to the wall to make sure that U-bend stays structural. Right. There we go. Then this bit just screws on underneath. So I've connected that extension on here. Then you see both these pipes are really malleable, so what I'm going to do is use one of these 40mm clips and just clip, ooh, really hard with one hand, just clip the top bit here, drill that in, and then make a nice little U-bend. Actual plumbers, look away now. So this is what I've done. So I've got a slight U-bend here. This pipe was kind of way too big, so I just had to sort of adapt it a little bit. So yeah, I've got a slight U-bend here, and then it goes down into the grey water tank. And then when I need to refill that, I can literally just pull this out and then pull out the tank. The only extra thing I'll probably do is just fix a bit of wood here and down the side here, just so this sort of stays in place when I'm driving. So yeah, as I said at the beginning of the video, I'm just finishing the other parts of my water system. So I'll cut in a minute to when that's finished, so I can show you the tap in action and also the grey water tank in action. See you in a minute. Hello. Hello, as promised. I've hooked up the rest of my water system, the tank, shower unit, everything. Got my pump on. Now, eagle-eyed viewers will notice that I've actually replaced my tap. The cheap one I got for like 19 quid was worth 19 quid. It was a piece of crap. As soon as I plugged it in, water started leaking out of everywhere, like out the top of here, around the sort of rim, like it's crap. So I got rid of it and I bought one for 40 quid. And it's a lot better. So so you can see here I slightly adjusted my T connector because I don't know why I had it like flip around the other way. It just meant that those two pipes were further away from each other. But yeah, I've just screwed it in, made sure everything's nice and tight. This little U-bend goes into my grey water tank. So my pump's on. So yeah, it's literally boom. And obviously hot and cold come out the same tap. You can hear it running nicely into my grey water tank. And look, there's no leaks. Wonderful. That's literally it. In the next video, I'll be showing you hooking up my water tank, and along with that some float switches that are hooked up to indicator lights. And as I said a little bit later on, I'll just do a full video of the full water system in one video as well. Might be a bit helpful. But yeah, give us a thumbs up if you like this video and subscribe if you want some more. See you in a bit.